Hey everybody, it's me Lone, back with a Flight 76 video, and today we had a brand new Inside the Vault go live, in addition to the PTS and the features and update log for the PTS. So today, we're going to be covering all the information that you need to know. So if you enjoy this video, if it helps you, please like it, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new, with notifications if that's possible. But with that out of the way, let's get to the content. Alrighty, we have the two articles in question on the screen right now. This one is the Inside the Vault, and the next one is the features and update log. So as usual, the Inside the Vault is more top line, and then the features and update log goes into a little bit more detail as to what has changed and what's been added to the PTS. So we'll typically start off with the Inside the Vault, and then when we want more information, we'll swap to the features and update log. So the Inside the Vault is titled, Prepare to Invade the Public Test Server. We've been hard at work making final preparations to reopen the public test server for our next major update, Invaders From Beyond. In this edition of the Inside the Vault, we're sharing a look at upcoming features and improvements that will be available for playtesting in the test server. We've also got details on this weekend's Hunt for the Treasure Hunter event. I'll ignore that because that is not necessarily new. But let's start off with the Invaders From Beyond content coming to the PTS, and then eventually the game later. So a little later today, we're planning to reopen the PTS, and that's already taken place, so that you can share feedback with us on the Invaders From Beyond update coming in March. So just in March, we don't have a specific day yet, but it'll be coming sometime then. We're eager to hear your thoughts on an out-of-this-world new seasonal event, Fallout World's improvements, and a new public event that's planned for another update later this year and more. So when we get to that public event, just remember, it's not going to be coming to the next big update for the game in March. It's going to be sometime later, but if you want to, you can enjoy it in the PTS right now. Read on to catch additional details before you dive into playtesting. So it starts off with the Invaders From Beyond seasonal event. This is the alien kind of content that you were looking forward to for a little bit now. So it says, otherworldly interlopers are invading our skies and preying on our brainwaves. Every hour on the hour, like every other seasonal event, during this all-new seasonal event, an alien mothership will hover above a high-profile Appalachian location to deploy brainwave siphons, disrupt their efforts by banding together with fellow humans to destroy any siphons in the area and show the aliens who's really the boss around these parts. When you do, you'll have the chance to earn rare plans to craft new alien weaponry, as well as high-tech additions for your camp. Now, there is information about what some of this weaponry is. We're not going to be going through that in today's video because it's not officially announced, but let's continue. We've also received reports that our curious visitors have been spotted at various public events, so be sure to keep your guard up as you adventure around Appalachia. So my understanding is when you're doing a public event, I think more so the ones that are above ground. I'm not too sure whether they appear at like Radiation Rumble, for instance, the one that are in instance interiors, but for sure the ones above the ground, Line in the Sand, for instance, you should have some of these visitors pop up every now and again. So swapping to the features and update log, we got a bit more information about the seasonal event. So a general introduction here. Mysterious beings from the outer reaches of space are invading our skies and stealing our brainwaves from life forms throughout Appalachia. Blah, 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 blah. It's kind of the same thing as before. Here's where the interesting information is. So every hour on the hour, an alien mothership will appear above one of several high-profile Appalachian locations to deploy 3 brainwave siphons in the area. Travel to the mothership's location and examine Siphon Kappa to start the event. When the event begins, players must destroy all 3 brainwave siphons, one after the other, before the aliens can complete their brainwave extraction process. There's just one problem. Each siphon is protected by a force field, which is controlled by a different alien commander. So it's kind of like, a typical, there's different alien commanders, take out the alien commander, you'll be able to take down the force field, and then you'll be able to destroy the siphon. Rinse and repeat. Defeat alien forces to draw out the commander for each siphon, take out the commander, and the force fields will drop, allowing you and your event mates to destroy the siphon, and then you do it for all of them. If you manage to demolish all 3 brainwave siphons in time, you'll receive some loot XP and have a chance to earn plans to craft new alien weaponry and camp objects. Keep your guard up because as long as the Invaders From Beyond event is live, you may encounter extraterrestrial interlopers at select public events. So that's what I was saying before about it might not take place during instance interior events like Radiation Rumble, but select events that are outside like Campfire Towers, Free Range, and Line in the Sand. Just to name a few, you might see some of these invaders attend those events. You may also spot our curious visitors and new random encounters that we're adding with this update. So that pretty much sums up Invaders From Beyond. Again, if you have the PTS, if you have Fallout 76 on Bethesda Net on PC, you can try it out now, experience it, give your feedback, etc., all that kind of good stuff. But let's move back to the Fallout Worlds improvements. I know obviously for a while, people have been asking for improvements to Fallout Worlds, so it's nice to see that we're getting some improvements to Fallout Worlds. In particular, there was the feedback given that there's no, it's difficult to play Fallout Worlds because there's no progression per se, but now there is that form of progression in the form of getting that score. So it says here, one of the top Fallout Worlds requests that we see from the community is for progress in public and custom worlds to also count towards adventure mode. So that's what I was saying before. We're pleased to let you know that with the Invaders From Beyond update, you will be able to continue your season journey by earning score from any non-repeatable daily and weekly challenges you complete in public and custom worlds. Now that's key. It says non-repeatable. That means the repeatable challenge where you get XP and get score, that's obviously not going to be available in the custom worlds because it's easy to cheese that when you can change all the settings. So that's understandable. The rest of them though, the rest of the dailies and weeklies, you'll be able to now complete in custom worlds if you would like to, and still progress your scoreboard. Additionally, we've rustled up a variety of new settings for you to tinker with in custom worlds, disable VATS versus other dwellers, or turn it off entirely, make your enemies explode into a burst of confetti. I believe that's similar to lunchboxes, kind of, and allow camp objects to intersect with one another and more. So if we swap to the features and update log, again, it says in response to your feedback, we've implemented the ability for you to continue your season journey in Fallout 76 or Fallout Worlds. Going forward, you'll be able to earn score from non-repeatable. So it's the same as before. But here are the more kind of detailed information about the new custom world settings that will be available in Fallout Worlds. So we're introducing a variety of new settings for custom worlds that Fallout First members can tinker with in the public test server. So this is specifically obviously for Fallout First members where you have the full suite and array of world settings that you can tinker, until your heart's content. So carry weight, adjust the carry weight settings to choose a specific maximum amount the player can carry. Alternatively, use the carry weight multiplier setting to adjust max weight by a percentage. Drop it down to 0 or crank it all the way up to 11 times your default amount. So don't have to worry about carry weight pretty much anymore in custom worlds. If that's how you want to play, if you just want to play as a hoarder, and obviously if you want to play in custom worlds, now you can do that and not worry about inventory management. And I'm sure there's a few people out there that will be pretty keen on that. Frequent confetti, new dismemberment setting that will cause enemies you take down to explode into a cloud of confetti. So again, similar to the lunchbox effect. Perk effects, choose whether players can benefit from normal perk effects, legendary perk effects, both or neither with that setting. If that's something that you want to change, feel free to. I personally like playing with perk cards and legendary perk effects, so that's totally up to you. VATS, we've added the ability to turn off VATS targeting versus other players, or even disable VATS entirely if that's something that you want to do. I think the ability to turn it off versus other players is very helpful. It's just to ensure that it never gets caught up when you're trying to VAT something else, for instance. Relaxed building restrictions for all you camp builders out there. The toggle snapping option in build mode can now be adjusted to allow you to place camp objects even if they intersect. So I think that's a big one. That's a big one for camp builders. If you just want much more freedom when you're building your camps, create some awesome designs. I know there are players out there that create some awesome shit, right? and I think this is a setting that's really going to help with that. You don't have that restriction when they intersect. So that's awesome news, I'm sure, for you. And so I hope to see some awesome camp builds when it comes to that. And then weather, if you enjoyed the darkened skies above the Mothman Equinox seasonal event, you can now bring it to your custom world using the weather setting. The one thing about the Mothman Equinox event that I really liked was that custom weather. It looked freaking awesome. Is when you got to a certain point in that event, the skies kind of turned dark and pink. It was really cool. So to see that in wider Appalachia is going to be a nice thing to see. And then additionally, the Happy Builder public world is currently available in the public test server, so everyone can try building some intersecting camp objects with the updated toggle snapping option. That makes complete sense, right? It's good to be able to test that thoroughly. So if you want to try out the Happy Builder world, do that. But if not, you can obviously try your own custom world with your own settings. So now let's talk about the new public event, Test Your Metal. Now, it says here, and you need to keep this in mind, it's slated for a future patch that's going to arrive after the March update, the Invaders From Beyond update. but they wanted to include it just to kind of get feedback about this event. So this is a nice kind of addition to the PTS, something that you can see coming down the line, be able to contribute to it at an early stage. So it's nice to see. And it's a Brotherhood of Steel event. So for those of you that like the Brotherhood of Steel, obviously you'll be enjoying this one. And it says that the Brotherhood of Steel recently learned that the Rust Eagles, an offshoot of the Blood Eagles, have been cobbling together a regiment of deadly combat bots from spare parts they've scavenged. Sky Valdez sent a field team to investigate the threat these bots pose by competing against them in the Rust Eagle arena. If they're going to come out on top, they'll need a little bit more firepower, and that's where you come in. Gear up and help the Gladiators of Steel, freaking awesome name, emerge victorious over the Rust Eagles' robot army. The more gladiators who survive the arena, the higher your chances to earn rare rewards, like the new Raider robot armor plan. So again, I haven't seen what this actually looks like. I'm sure it's pretty cool, but it's again a typical event where the more people that are available at the end of it, you get a better chance to get some rare rewards. So there is incentive to revive your teammates to do better, and I personally like that. I personally like an event that actually encourages you to revive your teammates. So let's move on to the other article. So this is going to give a little bit more information. Again, the general synopsis here. BOS uncovered Blood Eagles calling themselves the Rust Eagles, stockpiling spare robot parts, blah, 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 blah. So, same stuff. So the Test Your Metal public event will appear on your map at the Metal Dome, just north of Fort Atlas in the Savage Divide. Travel there and speak to Initiate Pappas to start the event. Once the Test Your Metal event begins, you'll join 3 members of the Brotherhood field team to compete as gladiators against the Rust Eagles' deadly machines. You and the Gladiators of Steel, I still love that name, will square off against the bots in 3 rounds of frenzied combat. Defeat the opposition in 1 round, and you'll advance to the next. Once you've conquered all 3 rounds, you will earn some loot XP and have a chance to earn some rare rewards, again, including that new Raider robot armor set. I'll be sure to do a video on that armor set to see how it compares to some of the other top tier armor in the game. So make sure to defend your teammates, have stimpaks at the ready if they fall. The more Gladiators of Steel who survive their time in the ring, the higher your chances to earn rare rewards. And another reason why I like this event is that it actually encourages builds that are suited for teamwork, like, you know, being able to be a better team player. I kind of like that. Most of the builds that I usually promote on the channel are very, very selfish. They're like, what perk cards can I have that are just going to benefit me? So I think the beauty about an event like this, you can have a, you know, in one of your perk card slots, you can have, or your loadouts, you can have a specific teamwork orientated build, and then pull that out when you're doing this Test Your Metal public event. So that's pretty cool. I like that. That's probably something that I'll be doing to make sure that I am actually a good teammate. I'm healing, I'm doing all this kind of stuff, using friendly fire, etc., etc. So that is really cool. And then in the inside the vault, it kind of ended there, and it's just talked about the Treasure Hunters event. So again, I'm not going to talk about that, but I'm going to go through some of the additional improvements that are going to be made, or, you know, that are made to the PTS right now, and that hopefully will come to the next March update. So it says the first one, buildable pirate radio. Tap your toes to Appalachia's newest radio station when you're relaxing at home with a buildable pirate radio that you can place in your camp. Open the build menu and navigate to the appliances section to find it. So if any of you like the pirate radio, it's a nice change of pace, to be fair. After 3 years, you know, it's nice to hear a different radio in the game. So if you want to hear that at your camp, you're not going to be able to do so. Invisible backpacks. This one's really cool. The community has long requested the ability to hide their currently equipped backpacks from view. Now you can do that with the new show backpack game setting. Don't worry, you'll still receive all the benefits from your pack when it's hidden. So just for aesthetic purposes, if for whatever reason you don't want to have your backpack, you can do that. And I know that as well, like there is potentially some apparel and some outfits that might not work great with certain backpacks. It's hard to get that right all the time. So it's cool that if you just want to hide your backpack and really show off the outfit that you're wearing, you have that option. So I really like this addition. It's actually, I didn't see it coming. And then the final one is stimpak adjustments. We've reduced the weight of stimpaks and diluted stimpaks by 25%, massive, and reduced their prices by 25% as well. Additionally, we've increased the number of stimpak and diluted stimpaks that will appear in medical vending machines. Medical vending machines have always had a very, very small amount of stimpaks and diluted stimpaks. Now, mind you, they've never been too hard to get in the game. Like if you play your cards right, you're probably going to have a bunch of stimpaks and diluted stimpaks. But then again, if that's you, they weigh a lot. I almost certainly, like all the time, have to use traveling pharmacy because stim packs and other stim packs just weigh so much. And I like to carry a lot, especially because I'm a bloodied build. So reducing their weight by 25% might, in some circumstances, mean that you don't need to actually use that perk card and it frees up some perk points. So that's really cool. And yeah, those are all the changes that have been made to the PTS. I hope this video has helped. You could have just read it yourself in the description below, but I thought it would be nice to kind of walk through and talk through some of the changes and additions. So let's get to the conclusion of this video. Alrighty, Wastelanders, that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, this has been Lone. Please take care of yourselves. And would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.